Okay, we're going to come out of recess and hear more. I'm going to have to leave in probably about 10 minutes, so don't pay any attention. If I get up and walk out, it's not because I'm not interested, but I've got another meeting that I need to make, so.
Can all the rest of us leave too?
Huh?
Can all the rest of us leave too?
You're too important. You got to be here.
Oh, yeah, right.
The first step, we'll go ahead and listen to the food bank.
Okay, well, thank you, Judge Peters, Commissioner Brown.
Hi, Teresa.
Hello, Commissioner Nettles, Watson, and Condrela. I know everybody, thanks. That's great. I've been around for a long time. So I'm here to talk about our application for our backpack program, but I've got a few things that we weren't able to put in our application that I think might be helpful to know a little bit more about the issue in the program. So food insecurity is the condition of not having consistent, reliable access to enough affordable, nutritious food to live a healthy, active life. So it's about uncertainty and inconsistency, not just the issue of hunger. It includes limited or uncertain access to adequate food. It's often linked to financial constraints or lack of resources, and it can mean skipping meals, reducing portion sizes, and this is the other one I think I want to stress, is relying on lower cost, less healthy foods to get by. So according to Feeding America, which is the National Food Bank network that we're a
America.
part of. Pardon me?
It's America.
Oh, America,
America.
sorry. Don't use the A. Key drivers of food insecurity include poverty, unemployment, low income, high cost of living. But it's also influenced by food deserts, so that would be areas that don't have easy access to healthy foods like a grocery store that's fully stocked with shelf-stable and fresh food. And then, of course, transportation issues, which is something that we talk about in this county a bit. But food insecurity is also linked to malnutrition, chronic diseases like diabetes and heart condition, and mental health challenges, particularly in children. So the food insecurity rate for children in Brazos County is 23%. And so that means that more than 1 out of every 4 children in Brazos County is at risk of hunger. And to give you a comparison, the rate for Texas is 22%. So the rate for Brazos County for child and food insecurity is higher than the average for the entire state of Texas.
Wow.
Our backpack program is designed to combat childhood hunger. It was started in 2005, and the program started with what was then Kemp Elementary with just 25 kiddos. The mission of the program, I think most of you know about it, it's been around for a long time, 21 years, is to provide kids with nutritious, easy to prepare, shelf-stable food through their schools. So we want to know where the most kids are. We want to have help in identifying the kids who need the backpack. So our role is basically to secure the food, pack the food with volunteers, which we are very fortunate to have, and then support from the community to pay for it. All the food in a backpack is purchased. We don't use any donated food. Like I said, we use the school's expertise to know which kids are most needed in the program. So all the kiddos that are on it qualify for free meals at school, but others may have situational circumstances such as a fire in their home, or someone has lost a job, or a big health scare where they have new and deep financial consequences. Each backpack weighs about 5 to 6 pounds. I think most of you have seen one of our backpacks. I used to pass them around all the time when we would have these meetings. The backpack comes in a different kind of bag, not the backpack itself, so that bag can be put in the backpacks of the children when they're at school. The idea is that other kids don't see the food, don't see the bag, so they don't know who's getting them. It includes about 12 items, anything from shelf-stable milk to individual cereal boxes to juice, anything you can think of, macaroni and cheese in a microwave. Parents and guardians have to fill out a permission slip in order to get the bags, and we deliver all the bags. So on the short end of the side, because I think was that big ringer for me that I have, 5 minutes? Okay, then I'm going to say a little bit more. Some of the things that I think the backpack program brings that may not be as obvious, obviously we're feeding kiddos. It's putting food in their bellies. I kind of hate to say that, but I think there's bigger implications for what that program does. It's bringing security to the household's economic situation and their food situation. So when kiddos are fed, it improves their concentration, memory, energy levels, which can translate to better academic performance and classroom behavior. We've definitely heard that from some of the teachers that give us testimonials about the kids that are in their class that they've picked to get backpacks. The classroom behavior is definitely one that have been in testimonials. But kids having food also addresses their stress and anxiety because they don't have to worry about their food is coming from, and they can concentrate on their studies. On the economic side, food is kind of the flexible yet essential part of a family's budget. So the backpack program is offsetting a few meals per week that the family has to make sure that are there. And it effectively frees up some of the family's cash for other things. Like right now, I would say gasoline is one of those things with higher gas prices. So that's shifting. A backpack can shift the situational stress to reduce financial strain on the families so that they can do fewer things that we want families not to do, like use payday loans or having to go without or being unhoused or something like that just because they can't make ends meet. The backpack program is effective in that it reinforces better school performance and long-term potential gain if those kids are actually benefiting from what they can in the class because they're not thinking about eating and their stomach rumbling. They're going to be better and more productive members of society in the long run, which is what we all want. It's not a short-term intervention. It's a targeted support that improves immediate well-being and quietly strengthens a family's financial footing. So quickly, we asked for $15,000 from the county. From July 2024 to June 2025, our food bank provided 26,255 food-filled backpacks to 144 unique children across 23 public elementary schools and 3 summer programs in Brazos County alone. Across the entire Brazos Valley, it was 50,000 backpacks. But the reason I want to give you just the Brazos County number is to know that 53% of the kids that get a backpack throughout the Brazos Valley are in Brazos County. Each backpack costs us $4.40 to create and get into the hands of a kid. So this is including everybody's time that has their hand in the backpack. This is salaries, this is shared expenses, the food cost, the cost of the driver to drive it. We drive the assembled backpacks to all of the schools. Some food banks in other areas bring the palletized food to a school, drop it off, and say, PTO, good luck, get that together and get those out. We are full service from the beginning to the end, primarily because we have a great volunteer community and a base of volunteers at Texas A&M. So we asked for $5,000 more than we did last year, and that's primarily, I mentioned it already, my fear of the gas price situation. We do buy the food. The majority of the food in the backpack is individual serving, kid-friendly, so it's not coming locally. So we're worried about freight costs. We're also worried about the cost of the food production because of gasoline prices. If any of you all know when the war is going to end, you can let me know and you can tell me I don't need the extra $5, but we did ask for more. Our annual budget is $4.4 million for the entire organization for everything that we do. So every year we're raising over $4 million to run the food bank. This fiscal year, starting in July, 2% of that $4.4 million is going to be government money. That's the lowest it's been in the 21 years that I've ever been at the food bank. I do have concerns about our ability to continue to raise that amount of money in this community with the wonderful other nonprofits that are here and always competing with Texas A&M in fundraising. It's difficult. I got one person, they've got, I don't know how many fundraising over there. So I do want to say thank you so much for the extra money that we got last fall because of the government shutdown. That very, very much helped us. That was a time when a lot of people stepped up, and we saw a lot of donations come in. That has definitely leveled out. So you all know that things have been unpredictable for sure. I'll say that. And so we just asked for a little bit more money, and I appreciate your consideration of the general request, but also the request for the small increase.
Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you. Thank you.
Teresa, would you consider possibly helping the North Bryan Community Center? They gave their presentation before we went to lunch, and they have 35 to 45 kids that come in every day after school, and they feed them. And then during the summer, they have a summer program where they have as many as 60 kids, and they don't get any food from the food bank. But I suggested that to them when they were here, and they don't know what they need to do about that.
Yeah.
So would you consider that? And
Yeah, when I started, they were a partner agency of the food bank. So sometimes it's leadership changes or requirements or whatever they have to do. But yeah, I mean, absolutely, we can get in touch with them. I don't even know. We might even do a summer thing with them with
You know Maddie
backpacks.
Carter?
I know Maddie Carter.
She's
Yes.
the president.
Yes.
And she was here this morning.
Yeah, but happy to do so.
Okay.
good, thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you for all you do, Teresa.
Thank you. Thank you all for what you do.
Next up will be Health for All.
Lucky sucker.
He's had enough. We can pass him down if you want. Oops. I lied.
Good afternoon, and thank you again for allowing us to be here and to speak to you today. I want to introduce myself. I am Liz Dickey. I'm serving as the Executive Director at Health for All, and we are a free clinic for low-income uninsured throughout the Brazos Valley. We are located in Bryan. We are staffed primarily by volunteers. We have 4 paid staff and over 108 volunteers that make the clinic run. And essentially, we are set up to be a final safety net for people who are falling through the cracks. I have to tell you that Brazos County, I believe, continues to feel the impact of having one of the highest uninsured rates in the country. We know that adults 19 to 64, roughly 22% of them don't have health insurance. And what that equates to essentially is them ignoring problems when they're easily fixable, when they're more affordable, when there's something that can be done in a clinic setting. And they hope it gets better, or they walk it off, or whatever the case may be. And the reality is that they wind up in our emergency rooms, in our hospitals, in our EMS, in our county budget. One way or another, we're going to deal with it. And our goal is to educate our neighbors and ensure they're getting appropriate care in the appropriate place in the most cost-effective way possible. And that's what Health for All does. We've been around for 40 years. We have been doing the same basic premise of volunteers providing health care to people who have fallen through the cracks. We have expanded some of the services that we offer, so now beyond just primary care, we have a full on-site Class D pharmacy. We have dental care that we provide. We have a number of vaccinations that we provide. We work with local partners to try to ensure that we cover all of the bases without duplicating efforts as much as possible. And we really appreciate the support that Brazos County has provided us in the past. It is essentially a huge piece of why we can continue operating the way that we do. Roughly 79% of the patients we saw last year were Brazos County residents. So that's a significant portion that is coming from right here, that are your constituents, that are ensuring that we are their primary medical home. And again, we really want to stress how this is more than just a community issue. It's a fiscal issue. It's a healthcare issue. It impacts all of us. So We had a patient recently tell us that she had been rationing her insulin because she had to ensure that she could pay for the groceries for her kids. And it ties in along with many of the other nonprofits and the things that we're seeing every day, but that should never be a solution. To ration your medications that way is not the solution that we want our patients trying to deal with. So we take that out of the equation. We ensure that they have medications that they need. We ensure that they can see the medical providers that they need, and that they can continue being healthy enough to go to work, to go to school, and to be good neighbors and contributing members. And so that's what we'd like to continue doing. We did ask for a slight increase this year. Again, it was a roughly 5,000. Healthcare costs continue to go up. Medications, supplies, the demand for our services continue to go up. We know that everyone's budget is tight, but we really feel like it is a worthy investment. For every dollar that we get, we provide more than $4 in healthcare, and we know that conservatively we save this community more than $1.5 million annually with avoided ER visits. And that doesn't even touch on the avoided hospitalizations or the crises that we prevented downstream savings.
The 21% that's not Brazos County, are those surrounding counties, and do they contribute?
So several of the surrounding counties do contribute. Everyone has a different process. So some of them have, like Grimes County contributes every year, and they have a very similar process.
Okay.
Some of the others are, I believe, kind of a standalone decision that the judges, and they discuss it, and some years they do and some years they don't. And that may have to do with the number of constituents we serve. I don't know the answer to that, but yes. Most of them do contribute something, and we do report back on the number of the residents that we serve each year.
And then, in addition, your mother had me on speed dial for the entire time I was in the legislature.
I believe
She
that.
would call me up and say, make sure you vote for that, and make sure you don't vote for that. So, wonderful lady.
Well, I'm a little biased, but I like her.
Yes.
Any other questions? Well, thank you for all that you guys do, and for being here and listening to all of our pleas. We appreciate it.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you, Liz.
Prenatal clinic.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you so much for being here today and listening to each of us share our stories, share our needs, and how much we appreciate the county's participation in our success. My name is Lynn Claire Yeager. I have had the privilege of being the Executive Director of the Prenatal Clinic for the past 16 years. And that if you and I had a conversation, I could talk your ear off. I'm going to try and keep my remarks. I even wrote them down so that I would not go over my time, because I could talk for hours. More than 4 decades ago, a single idea took root, a belief that every expectant mother deserves access to quality prenatal care and health education, no matter her financial means. What began as a hopeful seed has grown into a thriving mission that continues to change lives. The creation of this clinic was not an accident. It was the result of tireless research, steadfast determination, and the courageous vision of a small group who refused to give up on this dream. They believed that every child should be given the best possible chance to be born healthy, and they turned that belief into a reality. And I can assure you that Brazos County has been with us since the inception. And if you'll let me go a little bit off track, every time I come in here, I see Dick Holmgreen and remember the story of Gardner Osborne chasing him down on the Briarcrest golf course in her golf cart, trying to get a time with him. And if you knew Dick really well, I'm sure he avoided her really, really well, but he was so helpful, and this clinic became a reality. 41 years later, Bryan Maternal and Child Health Clinic, better known as the Prenatal Clinic, proudly carries forward the enduring legacy of Gardner Osborne, Christopher Spain, Ann Hazen, and Dr. David Doss. Their vision continues to guide us, inspire us, and remind us of what is possible when a community comes together with purpose and heart. While we look back with deep gratitude, we also look forward with determination, prepared and preparing to navigate the challenges of an ever-evolving healthcare landscape, most definitely uncertain funding, and the ongoing responsibility of financially sustaining our clinic's operations. Imagine being a woman who finds out she's pregnant and has a different life circumstance than I would say most of us in this commissioner's court have. Her family is often struggling to pay rent, purchase food, and other basic necessities. She may also be new to our country and unfamiliar with healthcare processes and trying to blend her language and cultural differences into our community and her life. But there is one common thread. She is no different in the respect that she wants to do whatever she can to ensure that her baby is born healthy, and that's where the prenatal clinic comes in, offering her a warm and safe place where she will receive excellent medical care during her pregnancy. We recognize our very important ethical and moral responsibility to protect a family's most vulnerable member, but as it turns out, having healthy babies is important to our community as well. Healthy babies are more likely to grow into healthy children. Healthy children are more prepared for kindergarten. Kindergarten-ready students are more likely to read at grade level by grade 3. Students who are reading on grade level are more likely to graduate high school, go to college, or receive training to secure a job. Adults who are employed are more sustainably financial and more likely to have resources needed to raise healthy families. And healthy adults can eventually support their own aging parents. This chain of events, each building on each other, all begin with a healthy start in life, which happens to be the mission of the prenatal clinic, providing low-income families access to prenatal care to ensure that their babies are born healthy. Complicated pregnancies and premature babies require more medical care, which oftentimes is provided by government programs such as Medicaid or CHIP. Those same children could very well require additional social services and remedial education to help those students who fall behind. While the most important factor in this equation is our moral obligation to take care of children, there's also an economic component by where it is much less expensive to provide mothers with early prenatal care than to provide services with a baby born with challenges. The good news is there are many health benefits or many health issues that can be addressed and managed during pregnancy that could change a birth outcome, especially if the mom enters care early. We never want adverse birth outcomes to be the result of a mother not being able to obtain medical care. Prior to December 1985, the scenario I just described actually happened in our own Bryan College Station community. Women were presenting at the local hospital for delivery, never having seen a doctor. No federal or state programs were available at that time that would care for a low-income pregnant woman, and really no clinics that we know as them today. Only a few private practice doctors would even provide care to a low-income family that couldn't pay for their services. And not every family was even offered that solution. Since 1985, more than 23,700 women have walked through the doors of the prenatal clinic, and that's over 206,500 office visits and more than 18,800 babies born at our clinic. The situation is as true today as it was prior to 1985. There are women who could possibly deliver their baby without medical care if it weren't for the prenatal clinic and those that support our mission. All women whose income meets the federal poverty guidelines are welcome at the prenatal clinic. We only have one goal: ensuring that babies are born healthy. Our contract with the Texas A&M Health Science Center provides us with board-certified family medicine physicians, and actually one is a board-certified gynecologist obstetrician. These physicians have active obstetric practices. They are faculty members at the Texas A&M Medical School and supervise the family medicine residency program, where second and third year resident physicians have added a strenuous advanced OB track to ensure that these new physicians have the best possible hands-on experience when they leave our clinic to start their own practices. We provide comprehensive prenatal care and health education to low-income, uninsured pregnant women across the Brazos Valley. Many of the women served by the clinic also face significant barriers to accessing health care, including a lack of insurance, limited financial resources, transportation challenges, and language barriers. Without access to early and consistent prenatal care, increased risk for complications, preterm birth, low birth weight babies, gestational diabetes, and hypertension, all of which can have long-term impacts on both the mother and the baby. Our program that we are asking you to help us fund supports direct patient care that ensures pregnant women receive early and consistent prenatal care throughout their pregnancy. Key activities include prenatal medical visits provided by these board-certified physicians, laboratory testing, monitor and management of high-risk conditions, prenatal vitamins and medical supplies, and individualized health education. Education topics include nutrition, management of chronic conditions during their pregnancy, preparation for childbirth, breastfeeding tips, and healthy pregnancy practices, and newborn care. Early access to prenatal care is one of the most effective ways to improve maternal and infant health outcomes. Research consistently shows that women who receive appropriate prenatal care beginning in the first and second trimesters are far less likely to experience complications such as premature birth or low birth weight infants. These improved outcomes benefit not only mothers and their babies, but also reduce long-term health care costs for families and the broader healthcare systems. We're pleased to report that 83% of our patients enter care in their first and second trimester. It's fair to say that a large majority of our patients are classified as high risk, but thanks to the compassionate care given by these medical providers and our staff, we have amazing outcomes. Our tagline sums it up: healthy moms, healthy babies. Just a few statistics to show the impact that our clinic makes. In 2025, the prenatal clinic served approximately 700 lives. That's about 350 women and 350 unborn children. Our clinic provides more than 3,500 patient visits, 880 blood draws, and referrals for 525 ultrasounds. The average risk patient entering care in their first trimester will have 10 visits at 2 postpartum visits. High-risk patients' visits are more frequent, depending upon the acuity of their situation. We also provide important vaccines such as flu and Tdap. 80% of our patients are residents of Brazos County. 63% report that they are a female head of household. 100% of the women that we see are at or below the poverty guideline, with 73% in the extremely low income category.
Of the 20% that aren't Brazos County, I guess that's surrounding counties?
Yes, sir, it is.
And do you get money from those counties?
We get indirect money. We are not actually included in their budget, but yes, we do get some funding and particularly support from their communities.
Who do we need to call to get them to contribute to you?
Well, we could reach out to their commissioner's court, their county judge, and it's such a small number that we have other funding. We don't necessarily use Brazos County money to fund those. But absolutely, you know, it is something that we can ask.
Okay.
Our patients, 82% of the patients we see are between 18 and 34 years of age. So we're not looking at young girls. Now, of course, there are teen pregnancies, and we deal with those. We have had, unfortunately, as young as 12 years old. But those young women, because we take especially good care of them, they actually have very good outcomes. Now, the long-term outcome of a 12-year-old is certainly not the best situation, but hopefully that they have families that will help step in, and usually their moms, their families will help them. 15% of our patients are diabetic compared to 8 to 10% nationally. So we have a high percentage of diabetic patients, but you have to remember that some of these are type 2 diabetics, and some of them are gestational diabetes, and a lot of them are undiagnosed until they get to our clinic. 9% develop preeclampsia compared to 5 to 8% nationally, and 7% are hypertensive. 38% were considered extremely high risk compared to the 6 to 8% nationally. While the level of high-risk conditions are higher than average, our results are excellent as a result of our expertise in working with high-risk patients. We have other clinics that will often send high-risk patients to us because they know that we have the expertise and the staff that can treat and work with these women. The prenatal clinic had 196 deliveries, and only 2 of those patients experienced a pregnancy loss. Only 4% of the babies were born at low birth weight compared to 8.5 to 9% statewide. Under a very conservative budget, our total cost per patient is approximately $1,550. I took every expense that we had, not just direct cost, but you know, you have to have a lease, you have to have a space, you have to have insurance. You have to have a computer system, IT. So all of those are included in that $1,550. But this is about half the cost. Conservatively, a private practice would charge about $3,800 for these same services.
Oh, yeah.
The prenatal clinic pledges to continue delivering our service in a way that honors human dignity, respects cultural and individual difference, and preserves each patient's freedom to choose the healthcare provider who best meets her needs. And this commitment is at the heart of everything that we do. Our request was stable this year. We did not ask for additional funds, but we asked for help with direct prenatal care, patient care, such as general medical supplies, vaccines, and to help offset the cost of having our doctors. I will tell you that Texas A&M University has provided us a very, very generous cost to have these physicians at our clinic. They help ensure that we can continue providing essential prenatal care to every woman who needs it, and that our commitment to healthy beginnings remains unwavering for generations to come. We're reminded every day that our work is only possible because of the generous support of a compassionate and caring community. Thank you for believing and supporting our work and mission.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, absolutely.
Thank you.
So I show that 75 historical, 87.5 last year, 75 this year.
Yes, that was in the request, yes, sir.
Yeah,
We would not turn down extra.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing
Yeah,
what you do.
you're our star person today. You're the only one that asked for less. Thank you.
Next up will be Easter sills.
Hi, I'm I'm Dana Day with Easter Seals, the Early Childhood Intervention Program. In August, I'll have been here 31 years. So early childhood intervention is very near and dear to my heart. And both my boys were enrolled in the program as well. And I had bronchitis about 2 months ago, and I still have this lingering cough. So excuse me if I have to take a drink during my talk. I'm passing out just a few statistics and a few pictures to share of our playgroups with y'all. One big change we had since February of 26 is Elise Hoff, our CEO, retired. So we have a new CEO at Easter Seals. His name's Kurt Harrison, and he's out of town today, or he would have come with me to meet you all, so hopefully he could come next time. We're excited to have him. He transferred here from a program or an agency from New Mexico. So we're real excited to have him with us, but sad to see Elise go after 22 years with us. Currently enrolled in our Brazos County area is 308 children getting early childhood intervention services, which is children birth to 3 who have a developmental delay or disability. And they stay with us until their 3rd birthday, and then we help them transition to another program if that's what they need. We provide anything they might need: physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, what we call specialized skills training, which is kind of like a teacher, service coordination, nutrition. If they need auditory or vision services, we help them access that through the school district. So pretty much anything that the child might need. And then we also work really closely with the parent or the family, the caregiver, whoever the child is with during the day, so they can continue those exercises with the child within their daily routine. You can see total for 2025, we served over about 1,300 children in Brazos County and delivered almost 11,000 hours of direct service, 1,700 hours of service coordination. We completed over 1,000 evaluations, 70 hours of nutrition, and 800 hours in play groups. We hosted 5 trainings for our staff because we want to make sure they're keeping up on the most current trends and technology on therapy techniques. And then we, again, hosted our Blend Christmas party for our clients, did Caulfield Day, and the St. Mary's Angel Tree Project. And one thing I want to share with y'all is a little bit different this year is the ECI state office added metrics for all ECI programs across the state of Texas. And we used to get these metrics annually, but they've now changed it to quarterly for all programs. And so I just wanted to share that our program is doing really, really well in the first 2 quarters of the metrics they've asked us to meet. So I just wanted to share those numbers with y'all. I don't know if y'all want me to go through and read all of them for y'all or not, but some of the targets they asked us to meet is to keep our enrolled number up of how many kids we're serving. And these numbers are program-wide, so not just Brazos County. And then the average delivered number per child, the target I did not put there is 2.35. So we're meeting above the target for delivered hours. 28-day timeline is that once we enroll a child, we have 28 days to start services. So you can see we're meeting that target. We can't go below 90%, so we're 96%. 45-day timeline means when we get a referral, we have 45 days to get that child evaluated and their plan written. And then there's 3 different targets, which are federal timelines for transition, which is when we transition them to the next step out when they turn 3. And then timely TKIDS data entry, which is the state system that we enter all of our information in, and you can see how many documents we enter each month. And we're less than 1% late on entering those, so we're meeting all the state targets, so I thought those were good for y'all to see. Then you can see some of our community collaborations. So one reason that we asked for additional funds from Brazos County is because we're limited on our state and federal funds and how we can use them. So the ask is always for funding for us to buy like oral motor supplies and motor supplies that we can get for children to leave with them. Sometimes babies need specialized bottles, spoons, cups, things like that. Some of these specialized bottles can cost like $28 a piece, and babies can eat up to 8 bottles a day. So that's over $200 in bottles that some of our families cannot afford at all. So if we can help a family get those bottles and leave them with them because they can't share those things, this funding helps us be able to get those things. Sometimes babies need special walkers, special standers, special braces, things like that, that sometimes insurance and Medicaid will cover, sometimes they won't. So your funding helps us be able to get those things for our babies. Also, insurance and Medicaid don't really cover nutrition for babies, even though a lot of our babies really, really need it if they're underweight or overweight, if they come home on a feeding tube. So the funding we ask from y'all also helps cover our nutritionist for this area because we feel like that's such an important service to provide. A lot of ECI programs got rid of their nutritionist about 15 years ago, but we felt like it was so important to keep them on staff so we can continue to provide that service for our babies. Then we also added play groups in for our children because we felt like that was such an important piece for socialization and to get them school ready, because when they turn 3, they go on into the school district for children 3 to 5 years old. And so our parents say wonderful things about it. They say they're so much more ready for school when they turn 3. They go right into their classroom and love it and do so much better. That's on the second page. You can see a few of the pictures. I love how involved some of our dads are. The dads come to the play groups. They're so great. And then we also use some of the funding for staff trainings. As I said, it's so important to keep our staff's continuing ed hours up and make sure they're current on all the latest techniques for therapy. So any questions? And I have to take a drink because my voice is going away. Any questions for me? And I'm excited because next year we'll have been here 10 years already since we took over the ECI program here in Brazos Valley. So can't believe it's already been almost 10 years. So we're excited about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all so much for what you do. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Salvation Army.
Good afternoon.
You should have brought a kettle with you and a bell.
I sure should have. I'm so sorry. Can I borrow yours?
I rang the bell for 10 years.
I
for
know. I know you compete in it too, and so it's
Yes.
exciting.
We need to do that again.
Yes, so those
We
of
need
you who don't know me, my name is Tatiana Rivera, and I am the Director of Social Services for the Salvation Army. Captain Luis Villanueva could not be here today, and so he asked me to come in his place and present. And so first and foremost, I want to thank you for this opportunity to present our request for rental and utility assistance. And first and foremost, on behalf of the Salvation Army, on Captain Luis Villanueva and Captain Mary Ann, we would like to say thank you to Brazos County for their continued support over these past 2 years for our rental and utility assistance program. Because of the funding provided, we have been able to serve over 200 families this past year. And we, as stewards of this funding, we utilize discernment and wisdom when it comes to dispersing aid. So as many of you know, the Salvation Army was established in 1865, and we've been here in Bryan College Station since the 50s. And each local chapter is responsible for their independent funding and for being able to provide resources for the community that they serve. And so a couple of those resources are our food pantry that serves over 7,000 families each year, our clothing closet that provides free clothing to 200 families each year, our youth ministry program that provides tutoring, music lessons, and summer camp for low-income families, and we will be bringing back our VSB classes this summer, our financial literacy classes, our family events throughout the year, with our back-to-school bash coming up in July, where we will be handing out over 300 backpacks to low-income children. And our Pathway of Hope program, that is a one-on-one case management program that it is specifically for working families who are seeking to break out of the cycle of poverty. On top of that, we also do our Angel Tree program that we are very famous for being able to provide over 2,000 gifts to low-income children during the Christmas season, and our kettlebell ringing that we do across town in order to bring funds to the Salvation Army for those programs, and then our rent and utility assistance program. So,
Can I recommend that this
Yes.
Christmas, that you get the 4 commissioners to all compete against each other to ring the bell?
yes.
And then whoever has the highest amount of proceeds, then,
Yeah, I mean, I do it
Well,
for the city of Bryan, we win every year, but
Yeah.
we can do it for
It's
Brazos
true.
County, too.
Brian does win every year.
yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it for the four commissioners at Christmas.
We would love that. Absolutely. Yeah. And so,
How does that work? You have to choose your location?
you do get to choose your location. In order to keep it fair, we can also do a drawing.
I know who's going to be at the Walmart in Bryan.
I was there last year and I won, and amongst our staff. And so, yes,
That's why I was
location.
asking.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Dibs.
Yeah. Give me a call. And
I'll take Target.
you'll take Target?
Take Target, yeah, just put
Target.
me down.
That's a good location too. And so when it comes to our requests, despite many efforts with both cities and the county, we have seen a drastic increase when it comes to our rental and utility assistance. If you look at the infographic that I have shared with you, on the left side, you'll see that in 2024, we received 409 applications. And in 2025, that increased to a staggering amount of 960. And so for a total of a complete unduplicated applications of 1,358. And in looking at these numbers, they're a little scary. We want to be completely honest when it comes to how concerned we are that these numbers are only anticipated to increase. And it is a 135% increase in the applications from 2024 to 2025. If you split those up by the cities, in the city of Bryan, it is a 106% increase, and the city of College Station is a 178% increase. In 2026, we are projected to receive over 1,440 applications. And so the demand has more than doubled in the city of Bryan and nearly tripled in the city of College Station.
How much money do you get from each of those 2 cities?
So from the city of Bryan last year, we received 35,000. And then from Brazos County, we received 25. For the city of College Station, they gave us a grant that was only for security deposits and not for rent and utility. And so last year, we received $60,000.
But nothing from College Station.
Not for rent and utility, yeah. But speaking of those funds, we did deplete Brazos County's funds last year within the first quarter.
Wow.
And from City of Bryan, we went until the second quarter with 2 families that went into the first week of the third quarter. And so funds were very scarce. And we do want to let you know that we ask all of the families to also contribute to their bills. We do not provide full payments. And in that, we use that to provide a sense of accountability. We ask them those difficult questions of, hey, what is the financial emergency that you're facing that led you here? And what is going to change so that next month you're able to cover your expenses so you're not back in this exact same situation? We do also provide other resources that they can go and reach out to, and then we collaborate with other organizations in our community as well.
And to your point, I am very concerned, but understanding in terms of what is happening in terms of, jobs and
Yes.
the increase in everything
Yeah.
from other organizations that I'm aware of that, you've probably already exceeded this, and we're only at May.
Yes, ma'am.
Because the requests that I see are so great, through no fault of their own, just the cost of living going up.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, absolutely. And some of those contributing factors are the rising house costs, which an
Utilities
average.
cost.
I'm sorry.
So utilities cost.
Yes.
I know that in my own personal situation,
Yeah.
but I'm fortunate.
And then the summer's, next week, pretty much. And so with that, we're going to see the increase of utility costs. There is an average of $150 year-to-year increase in rent. The SNAP benefits that have been reduced, which the Commissioner's Court released that over 300 families of local households are impacted on a daily basis. And unemployment and underemployment as well. And so we do have a 3.6 unemployment rate in Brazos County, which is still very low in comparison to other counties. However, having that does not necessarily equate financial stability.
For a number of years, y'all had a Salvation Army store where people could go and buy clothing, that people donated.
Yes, sir. So
Why did-
we have a clothing closet, and it is completely free. And so families can make appointments with us, and they receive free clothing for their immediate families.
Okay, good.
Absolutely. And so in order to work towards this solution on being able to aid the huge amount of families that are requesting assistance from us, this year we have asked for $40,000 funding from Brazos County. It is an additional $15,000 from last year. However, alongside with donations and other funding, we are hopeful that we will be able to help 400 families this year. And in that, we just truly appreciate you guys considering this request. We want you to know that in this partnership, we would do our best to help stabilize Bryan families in this difficult seasons that they're facing. This funding allows us to respond quickly and responsibly to households facing immediate crisis with helping prevent deeper community instability. And so thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Chuck ought to be able to,
Tatiana.
he ought to be able to raise more money at the kettle because he has a crutch.
That's right. I'm bringing it, whether I'm on it or not.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it.
Whatever brings
An
the
eye
funds
patch
in.
too from when I was little, so I'm bringing that.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank
I
you.
do have one thing. To this date, we have reached out to Salvation Army as in the budget office and as well as Commissioner's Court, Aubrey Leggett. We still have not received your invoice to receive the funding for this year.
Okay.
And so if we can get that taken care of so it can meet the contract guidelines.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Don't forget the four of us at Christmas, okay?
I will be sending
You're
y'all
gonna
emails.
compete.
Yes. Thank y'all
Okay.
so much.
Good.
I want to apologize. I skipped NAMI, so go ahead and come up. I apologize. No worries. Oh, definitely. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Listening to all these speakers today is a little intimidating, seeing as how this is my first time. So, little grace would be great. My name is Carly Burson. I have
Been great so far.
Thank you. I have been a facilitator with NAMI for a little over a year, but I have recently taken on the position of the interim executive director and office manager. So this is a lot of this is new for me. So if you have any questions or if there's something I missed, please feel free to let me know. So for anybody who doesn't know a lot about NAMI Brazos Valley, we are actually founded in 1988. And we've been serving Brazos County as well as the 6 surrounding counties since then. We are committed to providing free mental health support, education, and resources to individuals and families throughout the Brazos County and the 6 surrounding counties. Each year we serve community members through several signature programs designed to reduce the stigma, provide hope, and connect people with the help that they need. Our organization currently offers 2 primary support groups. The NAMI Connections Group, which is a peer-led support group for individuals living with mental health conditions. It offers a space for them to come and talk to people that are like-minded, who have had similar issues or even different issues, to share ideas and support and just have that sense of community. We also offer our NAMI Family Support Group, which offers members and caregivers and loved ones navigating mental health challenges of their family members. These groups provide safe spaces where the participants can share their experience and that really build the community. I think that's the biggest thing as a facilitator of one of these groups that I've noticed is the community that you're able to build with other people that have gone through similar situations. One of the main things that I'm working on expanding this year is our outreach opportunities focused on underserved populations. I have a facilitator starting a Spanish-led support group. I also have one offering a virtual support group for those people who aren't comfortable coming in and talking with people face to face, that they're still able to get that support. In addition to the support groups, NAMI Brazos Valley operates a community support line that connects individuals and families with critical local resources. This includes assistance with housing, mental health providers, crisis prevention, transportation, utility assistance, employment resources, clothing assistance, financial and government programs, and health and wellness education. I would say over the last couple of months that I have actually been handling these things, I have gotten many requests of people who are looking for the resources of these amazing groups that you've heard so far this morning. So that's one of the things that NAMI offers is a connection between those two. NAMI also provides free educational classes throughout programs such as NAMI Basics, NAMI Family to Family, Homefront, Peer-to-Peer, and Provider Education. These are 8-week courses that are completely free for people who want to come and learn more about how to navigate mental health issues, learning more about what they mean, how they can impact, and early prevention of crisis situations, things along that line. Beyond education, we offer community presentations at schools, churches, and professional settings through programs like Ending the Silence, which is focused on youth, and school programs going in to talk to our children who may not have ever really realized what they're feeling and why they're feeling it. Excuse me. There's a family and friends group in our own voice, Hearts and Minds, and sharing your story with law enforcement. These presentations increase mental health awareness, encourage early intervention, and strengthen community understanding and response. Funding support for NAMI Brazos Valley. You guys have been amazing in supporting us for quite a while. We are not asking for any increased funds this year, but we would love the continued support. It directly impacts the residents of Brazos County and the existing county, and the 6 counties surrounding, giving them free access to that mental health care that I've been talking about, strengthening family, and supporting that crisis intervention. The funding goes towards the expansion of these support groups as well as the expansion of our educational programs, getting into schools more often. We do have a training for each of our facilitators as well as a training for the people who are presenting these classes to make sure that we are keeping a consistent message with what NAMI provides. Direct service support to help man the phones as well as answering emails to those contacting the support line. Program delivery, including facilitator materials and training, as well as being able to cover travel costs for events in outlying communities. Community engagement, such as movie nights, social events for support group attendees, giving a further sense of community. Marketing, outreach materials, print assets, and advertising for events. Fundraising events such as our annual gala that we just recently had and our NAMI Walks, which brings the community together in support of improving our mental health community. Operations and direct programs support such as facility expenses, supplies, website access, and volunteer resources. And then the evaluation and reporting of our support groups to our NAMI national supporters, as well as reporting from our CPA on the financial health of the organization. Mental health affects everyone, every workplace, every school. I know you guys have probably all heard the statistic that 1 in 5 people are affected with mental illness of some sort, whether it's a temporary or a lifelong diagnosis. With the continued partnership and support, I believe we can build stronger, healthier, and more compassionate Brazos Valley for everyone. I've included some of our print assets in the folder that I gave you, just a very small sample of what we take out to our events when we go out for our education in schools, when we do First Friday, getting it out there and making sure everybody is aware of the resources and how important it is to take care of your mental health is one of our big focuses. So that's what I've got for you today. To answer a question that I know may be coming, yes, we do get support from other counties. We have gotten Grimes County and Washington County support, and I'm going to be looking into the other counties to see how we can best support them as well as the other way around. So Any other questions?
I just want to congratulate y'all on the work you do. That's, in the county, resources for those with mental health needs is so underserved. And for anyone that was at Jerry and Nancy Wynn's funeral last few months ago, Jerry and Nancy were very involved with NAMI, and I'm just going to tell you, there were hundreds of people there, many of whom got up and spoke in testimony of the health, the mental help that mental health help they were able to get from NAMI, and in particular Jerry's work there.
Yes.
I just thank y'all for your work and the family approach that y'all take. It's such a great organization.
Thank you very
And
much.
just so much need, and y'all attack it very dedicated way. I really appreciate y'all.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate you guys too. All the support that we can get, and the more people that are understanding of why people sometimes react the way they do, and you giving that grace of what somebody's got going on in their own lives.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This is where I'll ask the court if you'd like to take a 10-minute break, or would you like to continue on?
Yes, let's just
Okay,
I gotta go.
okay.
do.
I will ask for recess and meet back at 10:40. I lied, 2:40, not 10:40. 2:40. I'm still in the morning.
I'll be quick. There we go.
Welcome back. First up will be Big Brother, Big Sister of Brazos Valley.
Big brother, big sister.
Tom?
Here you go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You all can see me. Normally a podium, you can't see.
They won't fall over now either.
No.
Oh,
We want to thank you for having us here.
That's why they were turned.
And I'm not too sure
Yeah, no, I
who
don't
Nina
have that.
is.
I took
Nina's the young lady right
Oh,
over here.
me.
I'm sorry.
Thank you so much
Oh, you're
for
welcome.
reaching out to us. We have had some turnover in our office. Myself and our program director, we are brand new, started in January. And so we appreciate the opportunity for doing this and being here. So my name's Bonnie Davila. I am the program director here. I'm sorry, I am not the program director. I am the development director here for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Brazos Valley. Not to confuse us with the Boys and Girls Club, because everyone loves to confuse us with Boys and Girls Club, but we are Big Brothers Big Sisters. If you're not familiar with what we do or who we are, we provide children facing adversity with strong and enduring professional supported one-to-one mentoring relationships that change the lives for the better forever. The big key word is one-to-one mentoring. So we pair what's called a big with a little to do mentoring. That is the one-on-one component there. We've been here for more than 25 years, and we've supported disadvantaged and vulnerable youth through, again, one-on-one mentoring relationships. We address critical youth challenges, we strengthen families, and we build stronger communities through long-lasting mentor connections. We focus on academic achievement, career readiness, and positive behavior development. Last year, we served more than 288 vulnerable youth in Brazos County through evidence-based mentoring programs. Our fiscal year goal is to match and provide professional case management and support to at least 300 children, adolescents, and young adults. Our programs are designed to help youth develop critical assets identified by the Search Institute that contribute to becoming healthful, successful adults. High-quality mentoring programs have been proven to reduce truancy, improve employment outcomes, and help prevent criminal behavior. We have 5 different programs within Big Brothers Big Sisters umbrella. Here in Brazos Valley, we focus on currently technically 2 to 3. We do community-based mentoring, which is where we pair a big to a little, which is pretty much kind of what you would see like an adult to a little. We do site-based mentoring, which where our littles are matched with bigs and meet during scheduled times at school or community sites for guided activities that are supervised by a Big Brother, Big Sister staff person. We are starting to build those up a little bit more. And then we do high school bigs mentoring. So those are where our younger students, our high school students mentor younger students at their high school or a nearby campus. That builds leadership skills by providing guidance and support. Fun little story we're very excited about. I'm development, I'm a fundraiser. Stories help bring money in. That's, we are super excited. One of our bigs graduating from Calvert, not part of Brazos Valley, but that program is actually phasing out, unfortunately, but come May 31st. But one of our Calvert bigs is graduating, going to be starting at Texas A&M in the fall, and is going to continue on to become a big there at the university. So we're very excited about that, which is, we love hearing those kind of stories. Our funding helps provide youth improve confidence, academic performance, social emotional skills, and future readiness. We are big on volunteer recruitment. One of the big things being in a college town. We love our college students. We get lots and lots and lots of volunteers or bigs coming from the college community, from A&M. But of course, they're here for 4 to 5 years and then they leave. We love that a lot of them do stay on, and whenever they move, they continue being bigs in their hometown or wherever they move to. However, one of the things that we are looking to continue doing, that our new program director is wanting to do, is find more bigs that are here and staying in our community. So that is a big thing that we're doing. We're requesting an increase. We have a demand for youth mentoring services in Brazos County. We currently have 58 littles on our wait list, which is quite a few that have been on our wait list for a while. We have rising operational costs that are impacting the delivery of high-quality, evidence-based mentoring programs. We need additional support for youth facing academic, social, emotional, and economic challenges. Supporting recruiting, screening, and training more volunteer mentors to reduce youth wait lists. Again, we have 58. We want to pair bigs with littles. We are getting out in the community and trying to get more bigs to become bigs to our littles so we can get those 58 off of our wait list. We need resources to provide program supplies, curriculum materials, STEM activities, and career exploration opportunities. We want to provide additional things that are not just in being provided in their daily educational school programs. Another fun story: one of our bigs took their littles to Porter's. It was, I think, a match anniversary, something that maybe their little never will experience, but he decided he wanted to take them to Porter's and told the manager, "This is just a really cool experience. I want to do this." And at the end, the Porter's food and beverage manager just loved what Big Brothers Big Sisters does, and kind of heard the story and what he was teaching his little. And he had been a big for a while and decided to comp the meal, which is really cool. I mean, it was over a $200 meal. And decided to comp the meal. So that's just something that, that little is going to probably remember forever. Funding will help cover our operational costs, such as background checks, which are not cheap. Again, some of our bigs can afford our background checks. However, we have bigs that are also in college, that are students at Texas A&M. That are also on financial aid or have those just additional costs, but they're also wanting to become a big and help mentor littles as well. Transportation, technology, as well as staff training. Outreach and partnerships with schools and community organizations will be expanded to serve more underserved and high-risk youth. Will help continue Big Brothers Big Sisters of Brazos Valley deliver safe, consistent, and impactful mentoring relationships with measurable outcomes. And of course, long-term cost savings may result through prevention-focused mentoring that help reduce risky behaviors and improve academic and personal success for youth. We also want to grow into doing more workplace mentoring and some faith-based mentoring as well. May not happen in the next year, but in the future, could potentially have some littles up there sitting in a chair just experiencing what y'all do and seeing this side, kind of what happens, in a courthouse, administration building, et cetera. We bring trying to partner with banks during financial literacy, dentist, local dentist offices, et cetera, to do different things. So, yeah. Any questions?
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Okay. Next up is Boys and Girls Club.
Good afternoon. Those are laminated, so they're built to last. You can put your coffee on it, hang it on your fridge, wherever you can find a spot. My name is Rhonda Watson. I am the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of the Brazos Valley. I've been in the position for 5 years, and it is my pleasure to share the mission and some data on the Boys and Girls Club. And in the story, I have woven into it justification for funding, and we did ask for an increase, the services that we provide, and the impact on the Brazos Valley. Boys and Girls Club of the Brazos Valley has been a trusted youth development organization for more than 60 decades, serving children and teens across Bryan, Caldwell, and surrounding communities. We provide high-quality after-school and summer programs in a safe, supportive environment where youth can learn, grow, and thrive. Our programs are designed to promote academic success, healthy lifestyles, and strong character and leadership. We are dedicated to helping youth of all backgrounds, especially those who need us most, develop the qualities needed to become responsible citizens and leaders of our community and nation. Our mission develops character and leadership skills, workforce readiness, academic success, emotional wellness, physical fitness, and a safe place with caring adults. Again, it's my pleasure to provide a review of the 2025-26 Boys and Girls Club after-school programs and activities that are changing the lives of youth in the Brazos Valley. So our after-school programs run Monday through Thursday from 3 to 7 and Fridays from 3 to 6. Our average daily participation is 150 to 170 members. We offer programs after school that include Career Launch, which is exploring careers, diplomas to degrees, encouraging kids to seek secondary postgraduate degrees, do-it-yourself STEM, Money Matters, Power Hour homework help, Project Learn, Youth of the Month. So every month we celebrate a youth who has performed well academically and is also just a good member, steward of the club, which culminates at the end of every year. On May 30th, we are having an event called Spotlight on Bright Futures. It's an Academy Award style event where members are nominated in about 15 categories. Categories range from academics to athletics to behaviors, and it's a great event where we have our parents and our members come together for that award program with dinner, dessert. Our kids help prepare the meal. They help prepare the desserts. It's really special.
How much money do you get from the surrounding counties?
We don't have any other county money, and right now it would be Burleson County. They do a lot of great, robust fundraising just independently on their own as a community, but we have not yet gotten any county funds from Caldwell.
Have you asked?
I have consulted with influencers in the county who have advised me that that's just not really something that they do. Now, how accurate that is, I'm not sure.
When you say influencers, are you talking about the county judge and commissioners, or
a member of our advisory council who has relationships with the county judge and commissioners?
You have kids from there?
We have a club there.
Okay.
So we're helping fund not
No.
only.
I mentioned Caldwell because that is part of our organization, but Brazos County funds the Newman Adam operation.
So this money that you're asking for is just for
Brazos County,
correct? Okay.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
We had a basketball league with over 300 kids, boys and girls, Passport to Manhood, Smart Girls, Triple Play. We have anti-bullying curriculum and mental health interventions and professional services to provide those interventions. We have a Thanksgiving feast every year and a holiday party with presents, Santa, and a festive meal. We serve over 2,500 meals per month that are made fresh in our kitchen daily for members. Members receive a protein, fruits, vegetables, milk, juice, and snacks. Members are also trained in the fundamentals of cooking and gardening through our culinary arts program. Moving into summer, summer programs often serve new families, so those who aren't there for after school, new faces appear in the summer. And it's a very busy time for working families, and we rise to the occasion by facilitating summer programs Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., giving families the hours they need to be at work and knowing that their children are safe and with trusting adults. In the summer, members continue to receive breakfast, lunch, and snack. BISD supports a portion of those lunches and breakfast during the first summer school session, but at the end of the first summer session, we become responsible for those breakfast and lunch and snacks, and donor investment fills that gap. As the club continues to evolve and grow programs, we require more staff, additional reliable transportation. We dream of an outdoor play space and increased operating funds, as the budget, when I started, was $865,000, and it has grown to $1.42 million. Summer brain gain really focuses on summer learning loss, so that when kids go back to school in the fall, they have not lost any of that math and literacy ability. In fact, we are hoping to get them to a point where they have surpassed where they were, and they're starting with a head start. But some of the fun summer things, we have a horse camp that the kids participate in, not all of them, a select few. We take them to the movies, George Bush Library. We have a cybersecurity camp, which is in conjunction with Texas A&M. We take the kids to Horseshoe Junction. We also have a financial literacy project that First Financial usually sponsors. We have a STEAM club. Last summer, we were also able to take the kids to the Houston Museum of Natural Science, to an Astros baseball game, and we were able to re-charter our Keystone and Torch Club for teens and kids. So youth in the Brazos Valley face significant academic and emotional challenges, particularly those from low-income households. In Bryan, Texas, over 72% of students are economically disadvantaged, and more than half are at risk of dropping out of school. And that's from the Texas Education Agency. Many of these youth also lack access to mental health services, safe after-school care, and academic support systems critical to long-term success. According to the Children's Health Beyond ABC report, nearly 40% of Texas children experience at least one adverse childhood experience, increasing the likelihood of emotional distress, academic delays, and negative social outcomes. Locally, the Boys and Girls Club of the Brazos Valley served 917 youth in 2025. Internal surveys showed that while 94% of our youth expect to graduate high school, 42% are considered at risk for academic failure. Emotional safety also remains a concern, with 31% of youth reporting having been bullied at school, at home, or online. Without timely, targeted interventions that address both academic support and emotional resilience, these young people risk failing and falling further behind. This project, our programs, is urgently needed to ensure equitable access to opportunities that foster achievement, wellness, and long-term self-sufficiency. We propose to expand and strengthen our academic enrichment and mental health wellness initiatives, addressing both learning loss and emotional well-being for youth ages 6 to 18. Funding from the county will help us implement such a comprehensive, evidence-based model that fosters academic achievement while supporting social, emotional development among vulnerable youth in Bryan. I want to talk a little bit about what that emotional health and wellness kind of means to the Boys and Girls Club, because our core belief is simple yet transformative. Emotional regulation, resilience, self-awareness are foundational workforce competencies. So having these youngsters, 6, 10, 12 years old, learning how to self-regulate and manage stress and develop coping skills makes them better prepared to graduate from high school, complete post-secondary credentials, enter and remain in the workforce, achieve financial independence, contribute to housing stability and neighborhood revitalization. We want these kids to stay in this community. We want them to be good mothers, good fathers. We want them to know how to give back to their community. We feel it's our responsibility to be a part of the system that teaches them those core values. My brag is we are required and have been for the last 4 years to undergo a safety assessment by an external auditor. The auditor is sometimes a member of the Boys and Girls Club of America's team of safety specialists, and sometimes it's contracted out to another safety-related business. For the last 2 years, we have scored a 99 on our safety assessment. That has led to our director of safety being invited to a national conference where she will be recognized and also share best practice. That safety assessment comes at a cost. We pay $2,000 for the privilege of having those assessments. Of course, we got a 99, but we still have to pay for that. So that's one of the reasons why we asked for the increase, along with the fact that our health insurance, our general liability insurance, all the things that it takes to run this operation have gone up exponentially. This year, at least, we didn't have double-digit increases, but we certainly had 8%, 4% increases across the board. So that is why we asked for additional funds. We also, because of the rising need for qualified emotional health and wellness staff, we are working very closely with Texas A&M Department of Sociology to find someone in the community who can kind of take on some of that social work aspect without being a licensed social worker, but trying to find someone who can really help with youth and family services. Part of our program will not only address the kids, but we plan on having workshops with the family so that some of this learning can be carried into the home outside of club hours. I could go on, but I know I've probably reached my 10 minutes, so I'd like to field any questions you may have for me.
Rhonda, y'all run such a solid program, and the community supports the work y'all do year after year. It's a standout
Yes.
organization. I
Thank
just
you
want to
very much.
congratulate you on that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And thank you for your
Thank you.
leadership.
Just reminding the court that North Bryan Community Center spoke this morning, which was part of the youth education community programs, and so we heard that discussion this morning. Next up will be Keep Brazos Beautiful. Thank you.
Hello.
Perfect. All right. Can you hear me? Okay, good. So I am Brooke Ariano. I function as the executive director. I am the only staff member of Keep Brazos Beautiful. That's how we operate, with one full-time staff member, and then I have a board of directors that I serve to. And so I have been serving Keep Brazos Beautiful now for about a year and a half. And officially in the middle of August, we'll hit my 2-year mark. So I can't really say 2 years, but it feels like it. And so I've enjoyed seeing some growth in the organization since I've come aboard. And so I wanted to highlight that. So that's what I put together in this packet for you today. So this is just something I've put together specifically for you. But I ran through, if you're familiar with the organization, Keep Brazos Beautiful is known for a threefold mission. Our aim is to engage our community in the county and educate our community in the county to do 3 different things. One is keeping Brazos beautiful by cleanups, the litter pickups, and the importance of cleaning up trash and disposing of it properly and safely. The other, number 2, is the recycling education, helping people understand how in our community that recycling piece, the reuse, reduce, and recycling pieces are so important so that we are making better use of the resources we have. And then the third piece being the beautification efforts, so that we are going out into the community. We annually contribute a large portion of our funds to the Wildflower Seed Project to continue Lady Bird Johnson's legacy. So we provide the wildflower seeds that happen through TxDOT when they spread those bluebonnet seeds and the Texas wildflower seeds. That comes from us. So we purchase it and then they do the spreading. We did that again this year, even though you would think, well, but Highway 6 is under construction. So we thought ahead of that, and we didn't want to stop the legacy. I reminded TxDOT that the legacy continues, and it's actually throughout the whole community. There's so many great spaces that can enjoy that. And so we spread the seed instead in other parts of the community, like Harvey Mitchell, over on 30, on 60, 47, so that more parts of the community see it. It's not just Highway 6. And then we also have continued by adding on an Arbor Day event recently. So if you'll I'll walk you through the packet, and it just kind of shows you some of the growth that we've experienced and how we've tried to really embrace all three parts of our mission. And so that's why we first thank you for the support that you've given our organization. We've been here since 1980. And we've enjoyed the support of Brazos County and hope to continue to have that partnership and support. I did ask for a little increase, and that's just because I'm very future-minded, but it's just an ask for you to consider, and I'll share with you what I have in mind for us to partner with. So as I've described here on the front page, I've given you just an impact. I took the numbers from 2025. That is how we get our accreditations through Keep Texas Beautiful and through Keep America Beautiful. We're required to report our measures and our performance to them, and then they dictate what level of excellence we've achieved. And so once again, our accountability has proven for us to be top tier status in both of those organizations. So the work that we have already shown in our cleanups is one of the measures that they really love to see, but they like to see the other pieces as well. But you can just see some of the numbers. We engaged 731 volunteers directly with our organization in 2025. Our economic value of those volunteer hours that they contributed to actually doing either cleanups or spreading of wildflower seeds or being in one of our education opportunities where we're in the community teaching people about native plants or native landscaping, water conservation. That total value came to $94,854, that if we'd paid people to do that work, that's what that would have cost the county to provide those services. It came to a total of 2,726 hours. We did 52 cleanup projects. Just to give you a measure, that's about doing one litter cleanup a week throughout the year. So I felt pretty good about that. That's a new number for us. Just to give you some perspective, in order to get the Gold Star status in Texas, doing 12 cleanups, litter pickups, puts you at Gold Star status. So we way and above overachieve that, and I'm still not satisfied. I think we can do much more. We have so many great opportunities to serve. That came up to about 5.7 tons of litter that was cleaned up and 62 miles that we cleaned up just by volunteer work. We partner with Brazos County, with City of College Station, and City of Bryan. Those are our three funding sources as is right now, in addition to just general donations that we might receive, whether it be through the Community Foundation or whatnot. We also have a scholarship fund that doesn't necessarily count as our operation budget, but we do have an $85,000 scholarship fund that's at the Community Foundation that allows us to encourage educators in the community to do sustainability projects, and we can honor them with education grants of $500 apiece. We also have interns that we pull from Texas A&M University to work with the organization. I give them project-based mentoring opportunities where they're able to be hands-on when we're planning events, to coordinate large-scale efforts and supervise a lot of other volunteers. We had 4 interns last spring, and we will have 4 again in the fall and also in the spring, and that is funded strictly through the scholarship fund that we're able to put together with the Community Foundation. So that was very exciting to be able to put that together. We have put together trash off events, community cleanups. We do an awards luncheon in the fall in October where we honor businesses, community members, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, university groups, whether they be student organizations or actually departments that have chosen to volunteer and work with us. And so we honor them with different awards and celebrate their commitment to sustainability. We also, this year, started an Arbor Day event on National Arbor Day. And so this next year, what we want to do is grow into that and add a Texas Arbor Day event as well, so that we have one in the fall, so that it will actually benefit the county, one in the fall that will also benefit the city of College Station, and one that will benefit City of Bryan, so that it will have different emphasis and different partnering with those groups, but we're very excited about that is going to happen. Some of that will also be implemented through the elementary schools, so our new plan will be to actually educate kids on how to plant a tree, how to raise a tree, how to take care of that. And so we're going to pilot that program with a couple of elementary schools. So I'm fishing for elementary schools that want to be with us on that. But it would be, we give the schools that get chosen, all of one grade level, we're picking third grade, will receive seedlings of a native tree that they can go and plant at their own home or in their neighborhood park or wherever they want to plant, so that they can be a part of our Keeping Bryan and College Station Cool campaign and help us by fostering a new legacy of trees and be able to see that I did this. If you open into the inside, you can see the calendar of events and how the organization has grown in our engagement with the community. And so when I first came on, that was the 24-25 fiscal year, and you can see we did about 7 or 8 events. And then we've bolstered that up through our community partnerships as well, so that you can see this last year, our involvement was almost double. And so we're going to increase that in more so. And we've also have corporations who have started to notice what we're doing and have invited themselves to, can we please join and partner with you? And have found a lot of great contributors in that respect. So you can kind of see just in this packet how we've really started to grow and partner with a lot more people to make a greater impact in the community. So we hope to continue that. On the last page, it shows you just a little summary of what our operational budget consists of from last year and what I'm proposing. So what I'm asking for the increase is because we are wanting to add more trees and to help with the Keeping Bryan College Station Cool, the Cooling Bryan College Station initiative, where it is wanting to plant trees to help that. So the general gist of that, of course, you're probably very familiar and probably like, okay, I don't need to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. So basically, with our development of our city, it becomes a heat pocket, right? And so a lot of cement. So the more trees that we plant actually helps us cool, and that actually helps us to not have to provide as much AC support. It allows everybody to experience a little bit more efficiency just by going out and planting more trees in our green spaces, in our right-of-ways, in your neighborhoods. It really does make a general impact, and it also allows for more rain to come because the area is cooler. It's not instead becoming such a hot zone that weather wants to go around. So there's been a lot of research done through here, and so we're just wanting to partner and help that happen. So we started this year with our Arbor Day event in the spring, but we'd like to continue doing that in the fall. Fujifilm Biotechnologies has partnered with us in a large scale, and I had a great meeting this morning with them and how they want to join us in that effort. So I'm very excited about that. So we're asking if each of our funding sources can add just a little bit more. We're asking for $1,000 extra over what we've asked in the past so that we can add that to that budget.
Are you asking the cities for an increase as well to cover
Yep,
the trees?
just 1,000 from each
one.
group.
Okay.
So not much, but it will make a big impact. I've found that people are really excited about this idea. So when I asked for help for our Arbor Day event, we were able to work with Site One. Site One gave me all of our trees at cost. So I was able to buy a lot more trees. I got 3-gallon trees for $10 a piece. Yeah, my eyebrows raised too. I was very excited. It turns out at the national corporate level, there's somebody from this area. So we had a real distinct passion for discounting those trees. So I'm finding a lot of ways that I can make that money make a big splash with our community. Just a little bit more, but that's what the focus is for. So any other questions?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next up will be soil and water conservation.
Good afternoon. I'm Kent, Kent Dunlap, Chairman of the Board of the Brazos County Soil and Water Conservation District, and we're certainly happy to be here on behalf of the district and my fellow board members, Larry Ford, Mike Patronella, and Rick Seneff. We just appreciate the opportunity to come discuss soil and water conservation and the importance of it. We have certainly appreciated the support that the county has provided for us over the years. We're 85 years old this year here in Brazos County. But we have had a long-standing relationship with Brazos County, and we certainly appreciate that. And we certainly ask for continued consideration on funding of $5,000. That will help us educate and promote the soil and water conservation activities in our county. Everything we do stays here in Brazos County, as most counties around the state have a local district. So we're representative of Brazos County. Conservation efforts in Texas began in 1939 as a result of the impacts of wind erosion of the Dust Bowl created our state's ability to feed and clothe its people. This impact, coupled with the significant hardships of the Great Depression, meant there were serious needs for both financial assistance and technical assistance, and we can provide both through the state and federal organizations. Our district has one employee. We don't have any taxing authorities or fee assessments or anything. Our funding comes through matching funds from the state board, also technical assistance, provisional funds from USDA's Natural Resource Conservation Service, and then from Brazos County. Those are our funds. I can tell you that the funds that we receive from the county are used for utilities and office supply, maintaining the county office, help fund our director training each year, and also attend selected workshops and field days where we have the opportunity to promote soil water conservation activities. Those our personnel, the monies from our personnel for our employee comes from our matching funds and technical assistance funds. So we're able to be self-sustaining in that regard. For many years, we've also supported youth activities in the county. We sponsor the soil and plant identification contest and 4-H roundup each year in June. Various FFA activities, projects from youth in the county schools. I'll say we did sponsor a wildlife team from Brazos Christian High School this year. And then a young lady from Rudder High School has won the district and area contests with her soil stewardship presentation. She is competing at the state level this week, so we're hopeful that she will be able to add another trophy to her case. Local conservation districts like ours, we're truly grassroots organization, providing local control, dealing with local people. Our district partners with local landowners, develop conservation plans and water quality management plans for their property, which these voluntary programs, strictly voluntary, they focus on development of proven best management practice to help them build and protect our soil water resources. The smaller brochure that is in your packet identifies the state Soil Water Conservation District Board as the lead agency now for program managing and planning programs and practices for abating agricultural non-point source pollution in our critical watersheds throughout the state. Brazos County has several: Carter Creek, Burton Creek. So these are very vital assistance opportunities, and there's no better way, I don't think, to address the local needs except through the local SWCDs. It provides an awfully good vehicle to provide this local support in these areas that they represent. So everything comes back to the local organizations. Cost share funding assistance for many of these efforts is also available through contracts with Texas Soil Water Conservation District and the NRCS. But in all of these cases, they're strictly voluntary. I'd like to note that our local SWCD shares a common bond with Brazos County in that we together help maintain the two conservation dams down in the south end of the county. County engineers and NRCS engineers inspect those dams and provide the necessary input on the maintenance and to ensure their safety. The technical assistance funds are available to the county through the SWCD dams program. So keep that in mind if our office is happy to facilitate any paperwork or things to secure some of those funds for that mowing and maintenance if the county so desires. In conclusion, Brazos County SWCD continues to be an agricultural agency. However, as you well know, the county demographics continue to shift. We have many fewer producers today than what we traditionally had. I looked up our county in 2023 had 1,100 producers roughly, and that's down about 20% from 5 years before. So it just continues to go down, and was about 50,000 acres less production, less arable land too. So those continue to go down. But having said that, I think the need to protect the soil water is growing, because what you're seeing is the people that are coming into agriculture now probably have less of a basis for it, since that's not their livelihood. So we think that the need for education and these programs are maybe more important today than ever before. Their limited knowledge of agriculture and the land issues continues to be an issue. We receive 500 calls a year usually for assistance and information, and it's a vital one. And the last sentence in there is an eye catcher. It takes 30 years to create one inch of topsoil, so we can't let it get away from us. And that doesn't matter if it's on a larger tract or a smaller tract. It's all the same. But at any rate, thank you for your time this afternoon, and certainly any consideration for funding. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kent. Appreciate you.
Nick, this is a nice packet. It helped me understand better what you do. Great information. Thank you so very much.
Reach out to us if you need additional information.
Next up will be Art Center at Brazos Valley.
Know the feeling.
Good afternoon. My name is Leslie Bolin, and I am with the Arts Center, formerly the Arts Council, still the Arts Council, but Center makes more sense, I think, to everybody. Considering all of the worthy causes that are here today, we really appreciate the value of the funding that we've received. It makes such a difference. We manage quite a few different programs, from scholarship programs to the camps, all sorts of things. But Art for Life is just a really unique program that makes a lot of difference for very, very important demographic. Young people in the juvenile system in Brazos County really benefit from this. This is a huge and impactful and probably life-changing component for them. This is the 14th year for Art for Life. Art Reaching Teens is, there's sort of supposed to be an acronym there, but it doesn't really work. So we're just going to move on to the Art for Life. It has become something that we have been able to expand into different areas throughout the city in different ways. So it's different art programs. Sometimes last year we painted a skate park. It was kids doing something that other kids benefited from. And it was very successful. Everyone loved it. Unfortunately, painting a skate park during the summer is really hard. We're not doing it again this year, but we'll figure out time to do it somewhere else at a different time. But it was really fantastic. But basically, using this art program, that there are two elements. One is a public art component, and the other is a poetry, written or spoken word program that helps them be able to hopefully turn their energy inward. And these children, young adults, have all been vetted to understand that these are the ones that are going to respond to artistic way of healing, which is what we strive for. And working with the juvenile courts, the juvenile services program, has helped us. We every year work harder to develop a program that's very specific to what that's going to make a long-term impact. 85% of the participants don't re-enter the juvenile system or any kind of legal system. That's a very long-term, forever result, and we want to continue to grow that. We work with artists that are specialized, that have trained to be able to help kids that are going through some of this. Obviously, it's not normal for a child to want to do some of the things they do to end up on probation or even worse. And so the artists, they're artists first, but they really are, they're amazing people that are committed to what they're doing, whether it's the visual art component or the poetry component. One of the instructors that we've been working with for a long time has now changed her academic. She's actually going into counseling because of Art for Life. That's how big an impact it's made for her. They maintain each year. It's quite an amazing thing to watch and see the evolution just in this short summer program, what difference it makes for these kids. And so we hope to grow the program. Right now it's only in Brazos County. It was born here, and I'm not going to give up. I'm going to make it, I'd like to be able to spread it around into other counties. And so there's still some discussion there, and they're a little slower than you all, but they're getting there. And so we hope to be able to grow it, but right now we're focusing on what we do here. This year's program is a collaboration between the public art and the poetry and written word, and it's going to be a traveling exhibit that can travel throughout the Brazos Valley, all around to different buildings. Everybody wants, and it's an art project, but that will combine both. And I think it's going to be really impactful and something that will last and continue to grow, because a lot of these programs are in place and they're static. And creating a traveling art program, I think, will be really helpful. It can go to schools, it can go all sorts of places. This building, actually, we could put it here. The increase that we requested is strictly to offset expenses, the inflation. We have not, 90% of, well, more than that, 99% of what we receive is the compensation for the artists, the teachers. And then we supplement it with our own funds as far as supplies and things like that. But it's a very narrow budget, but it goes a long way. We do a lot with it. And like I said, it's just a long-term program that I think really makes a difference. And for having those children, those young adults not re-enter the system is a huge value to all of us and to them, of course. Do you have any questions?
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Veterans Memorial.
Good afternoon. I very much appreciate the chance to represent the memorial today and brief on their behalf. I am Michael Baudelaire. I am the current president. I've been president for just under 2 years, and I'm on my third term on the board, and they're 3-year terms. I'm joined today by our vice president, Tom Turbyville. Tom is in his third term as well, and Ben Roper, who's our chief of staff, and he's in his first term. Got to use my glasses, sorry. So real quick, what I'm going to cover today is I'll talk about some of our accomplishments. We'll talk about the project for next year. Tom will elaborate a little bit more on the project. And then if there's time, I'll go over some financials to show you how we steward funds that we've been given. So bottom line up front, we're not asking for a funding increase. If you look at page 1 of your fact sheet, you can see the county's contributions over the history of the memorial is about 12%. You see our greatest number of contributions come from individuals, which is about 26% of the funding. And talking about this year's accomplishments, as always, our number one event has always been the Veterans Day ceremony. And we roughly have over 600 attendants at our Veterans Day ceremonies. What's unique about this year is we're going to break the 7,000 names on the wall mark this year.
Wow.
Right. Another fun fact, it's in your fact sheet there, is there has been over 903,000 people have visited Veterans Park this past year. So how many of that goes to the memorial? We haven't been able to piece that out. We do know 40% of the people that do visit the park are from out of town.
So that has to have a big impact on our restaurants and hotels and.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Good.
Yes, sir. Some of the accomplishments from this year, as I already talked about, the Veterans Day ceremony. Our other premier event is the 9/11 Remembrance Ceremony that's dedicated to our first responders. And while that is not as big as Veterans Day, it still has a very big local turnout for that event. Where we are with statues. So this year, we're able to get the Mexican Border Service campaign, which was Lieutenant Colonel Young. We got it in, mounted, and dedicated, so that was completed. That was from an earlier project. The Kosovo War campaign female aviator statue was mounted and dedicated this year as well. And then the Expeditionary Operations campaign, which was the paratrooper, we have that mounted, and we'll do that ceremony this fall. So it's been a very busy year for putting up statues. Over time, it had been one a year, and then we kind of got backlogged in COVID, dealing with the foundry and Payne Laura, who's our sculptor, they kind of got backlogged. So we're very near, I can say within the next 24 months, we will have the final 18th site complete. And I'll cover that in a little more detail. So the China Relief statue currently is sitting at the foundry in Smithville, Texas. Once that's been cast, it'll be moved, and then we'll begin the mounting and celebration for that. And then the Submarine Veterans Memorial statue is also sitting at the foundry. So that's showing that, hey, we're 25 years ago, actually 26 years ago in July, where the board originally started. One other fact we were talking about, of the original 21 board members, only 4 still remain today, who originally started on that journey. And a lot of them are holding out to see that last site complete. Now let's talk about 2027. Okay, so the primary goal, and as I said, we're asking for $30,000. It's not an increase. The other government agencies are contributing the same amount, and then we'll know at the end of the year, once our audit is complete, how much we're getting from private donations. Okay, so we're looking at a professional, data-driven tourism and marketing strategy. A lot of that came out of last year when Steve Beachy and I were in one of the subcommittees over at College Station. There were several members of the hotel community that had asked, hey, what have you been doing to bring in outside entities other than the local Bryan College Station? And we had a very small marketing budget, so he had asked us to look at that this year if possible, if we can make a more robust effort with that. So we're going to design a targeted outreach campaigns aimed at the visitors outside of Brazos Valley, modernize the website, create a visitor tracking and feedback tools specifically for the memorial site and not just the overall park. Develop, and this is really good too, develop a K through 12 TEKS-aligned, teacher-friendly curriculum framework that makes it easier for schools across Texas to bring students to the memorial for field trips and civic learning experiences. That had been done once before in the past, prior to me coming on the board, so it's, I mean, we're talking 7+ years, where John Anderson played a big part in bringing a lot of the local schools to tour the parks. But a lot of that was done with members of the board, you know, given the history on the statute. So this will be a professional. We've had an educator PhD give us a proposal on how much that would entail. The curriculum could be uploaded on the new website and then downloaded for all students to use K through 12. Tom, did you want to add anything else on the marketing side?
Thank you. For the public record, I'm Tom Turpeyville. I'm a board member of the Brazos Valley Veterans Memorial. A little bit different this year because we are asking for the money for marketing because we don't want the Brazos Valley Veterans Memorial to continue to be regarded as one of the best kept secrets in the Brazos Valley. We want the people who have been there and know that it is, maybe outside of Washington, D.C., the finest veterans tribute maybe in the country. And we all know that, but we want other people to know that too. And all those little darlings that come and play softball and soccer and 7-on-7 and fill that parking lot over there, we need to get the word out to them so that if they have time between games to go over to the park and see what a great tribute that is, great. If they don't have time, we want them to come back to Bryan College Station in the Brazos County for the specific reason of doing the things that there are to do in this community. Go to the George Bush Library, attend your sporting event at Texas A&M. But on that list, we want the Brazos Valley Veterans Memorial and go out there and we want them to be wowed, just like we in the community are wowed all the time. And the way we can do that is by marketing it and just letting people know. We have great media support here locally. It's a great place for KBTX to interview people for anything that has to do with veterans. It's a great backdrop. We have, as Michael said, we have great events that are there. I know General Nettles, you spoke just a couple of years ago at our 9/11 ceremony. So it's a great, great asset to this community, I think. And we just want more people to know about it, both locally who live here. We want them to tell their friends and relatives about it, and the people that are coming in from out of town. We want them to know about it and say, wow, tell their friends, have you ever seen that Veterans Memorial in Bryan College Station? So that's what we want to do with this money, is get the word out.
That's great. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Tom, I'll add to that. In 2022, there was a CEO shift at St. Joseph Hospital, and I was on the foundation there. We had a temporary CEO come in for a time, and I was talking to him about our Veterans Park. He went out. I didn't know that he was really listening, and he went out there, and the next day he came down to my office to tell me, I can't believe that Veterans Memorial, and that was 4 years ago, which was probably 13 statues ago. But his feedback, he was really taken back. Yeah, I was really taken back. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Great job.
Okay, I'm at the end of the 10 minutes, so if there's no questions, the one thing I will point out on page 4 is basically how we have our budget and deploy our capital. So you can see the projects that I described that are still in completion on the color-coded side, which would be my left, your right, and then the capital accounts on the right. And so money gets pulled out of like capital account and that goes towards statute. We'd set up a separate marketing account, and then just like we've done with repair and maintenance, as items come in, a la carte we're paying for. We're not gonna take that money and lump sum it, hey, do our job for us. The board will still be in control of that funds to make sure that we're making educated decisions on
which of the 6 firms do we use here in the local community? Is that really targeting outside, or is that local? And so that's how we're going to steward that funds if we're so rewarded. That's all I have.
Thank you, Michael.
Great job.
Thank y'all. Thank you for what you do for us.
Next up will be Thin Blue Line.
Well, I tell you, I have cleared rooms out faster than this before.
We saved the best for last, right?
Me?
We saved the best for last.
I don't know about that.
Did y'all get some?
I will apologize. Tim Bryan sends his regrets. Tim Bryan just had wisdom teeth pulled.
Oh.
I said, Tim, who waits till they're 79 years old to have wisdom teeth pulled? I think he just wanted put it in Jell-O that Leanne wouldn't let him have. I just want to tell you guys a few minutes about the Thin Blue Line as an organization. Most of you know it is a motorcycle club of first responders, so fire, EMS, and law enforcement. The foundation, every chapter of Thin Blue Line has to have a charity aspect to it. They don't all have to have foundations, but this one does. Tim Bryan, several years ago, really loved the mission of this group, so he volunteered to join the board. And if you guys know Tim Bryan, he doesn't join anything anymore.
Yeah.
And then he got other people involved, and now they're really trying to ramp this up and make something of it. And these guys do an amazing job. In your packet, you have several things, a little bit about the foundation, a little bit about what we might help with. But the one thing I want to let you know is, and I've served on many nonprofit boards, and Tim asked me to serve as he started to retire from the bank and travel. We also have another member on the board from the accounting firm of Thompson, Derrick, and Craig. And so we're kind of spreading things out. The one thing that makes it unique, and what I liked about it, is there's 0 administrative expenses in this organization. The motorcycle club actually covers expenses if there are any, and then board members make up the difference too. Tim had an idea several years ago that he would just ask different business leaders in the community to contribute $1,000 a year. And for a while that worked, but you know how that is. Every year, you know, without him going to see somebody, it makes it harder and harder. A few years ago, he came here, and I was with him, and asked the county. We've asked the city of Bryan, and both have contributed. And of course, Tim's only family foundation contributes too. And this year will be our first ask for the city of College Station. We also recently just added to our board the retired Robertson County Sheriff, Gerald Jezik. Anyway, these guys do a wonderful job. There's some samples in the packet of what we might fund. The funds have been limited to $5,000 per episode. And what we're finding now after these years is that's sometimes not enough. And these aren't tragic events necessarily where somebody has passed and there's other opportunities to get help. Sometimes these are just retired first responders who've run into some bad luck, you know, cancer at an old age. And so it's all about trying to give back to those people that gave to us for all those years. So happy to answer any questions.
Larry, do you ride a motorcycle?
I do not.
Oh, you don't?
I did
Okay.
grow up
That's
riding
good.
motorcycles. My whole family did. My mom had a motorcycle wreck when she was young. We rode dirt bikes. But no, I was not a first responder, and I'm not in a motorcycle club. But I really have come to enjoy serving with these men and women.
That's great.
Yeah.
And he is known to wear leather. So. Thank you, Larry.
All right. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Sure appreciate it.
You know, went to the bathroom. Did y'all want to continue?
Yes, please. Crime Stoppers.
Yeah, Brazos County Crime
Crime
Stoppers.
Y'all can, yes, ma'am.
Is that the last one?
Next to the last.
Why do we have Easter? We don't have Easter, we're there.
Hi, my name is Pam Semino.
Who?
Stop that.
Hi, Pammy.
Hi, Freddie. I am the president for Brazos County Crime Stoppers. And I've been here with the Crime Stoppers for a little over a year. Walked in the door thinking that I was just going to help, just be on the board. And then I saw they needed a little bit more help than that, so I became the president. And in doing so, I called all my friends and I got a committee together to be on the board. We walked in, there were 4 men, and now we have 10 women and 5 men. And we come to find out that we can get a little bit more done when you've got women pushing it. So, I first want to thank you for your donation to us last year. We put that money to good use, and we were able to give away over 500 T-shirts at First Friday. And we had some reading material that we gave away. We had it in Spanish and English, and we were able to give those away at our First Friday table. The majority of our funds goes to our restricted account, which is where we pay our tips from. And we have approximately over $100,000 there. But we can't use it for anything except tips, so which is a good thing. And we add money to it all the time from the county, the probationary fees, and then we get 20% of that out for our operation fees. Let's see. We asked for a little bit more money this year than we did last year. And y'all are probably thinking, well, they're greedy. Well, we are. We're very greedy. We have discovered that we have been covering the cost for the P3, which is both Bryan College Station schools, for all of their tips coming in. It's a little over $10,000 a year, and Crime Stoppers has been paying for it all this time. And nobody even knew that they were paying for it except Crime Stoppers. We're gonna go to the schools and ask for some recognition, at least so people know, because people don't know that we're doing anything to help anybody. When we talk about Crime Stoppers at First Fridays and they're like, what is it? It's like, oh my God, this has been around forever. How do you not know what it is? So there's been some advertising done, not a lot, but I did talk to a TV station this morning, and we're fixing to start getting some commercials out. We've got some billboards up. We've got a billboard up for Nikki, helping to try to find her. And we've got our Facebook page, our website, that we've got special people on our committee that handle those, and we keep them updated with wanted posters or whatever, any kind of information. So we are putting forth a lot of effort to get the word out about Crime Stoppers, but we're not getting to people unless they are coming to the First Friday. Nobody else seems to know about it, so it's kind of a difficult wagon to push. We're working with the police in Bryan and College Station, and we're getting a little bit of assistance from them. We would like a lot more, but a little bit's better than none. But the money that we're asking for would go to help pay for the P3, which is the Bryan and the College Station schools, where they send in their tips or call in tips. Some of them are about somebody put gum in my hair. We're not concerned with those. Somebody put, a kid brought a gun to school today. That's the one that we are concerned with. And so we want to make sure that we can continue to cover these schools, so there is somebody that they can send a message to or call to or whatever. And everybody's like, well, they took the phones out of school. If these kids have something to say, they're going to get to a phone and they're going to call and say it.
Yeah.
So.
Pam, in the past, Chris Kirk was real involved with Crime Stoppers.
He is. He was very much involved. He came to we had our first fundraiser this year. It was the Jellathon. We asked to arrest you. You wouldn't let us. But he came
Maybe
to,
next year.
Burger, Fred.
yeah, he did. We had free
We can tell.
from chicken oil. We had fun. It was on a small setting because we didn't know for sure that, you know, we would, because it was Chamber Day. Everybody went to Chamber Day, and so but next year it's going to be a little bit bigger. But we're working on different fundraisers to make some money because we just turn around and put it back into whatever we need money for. But anyway, Chris was there, and I asked him if he would come and talk to our board members about how it got started and, you know, what all they've done and everything. Because when we walked in the door, we really did not know what we were walking into. I walked in, and then I started calling friends and saying, come be on this. You'll feel good. You'll like it. And, you know, we've had fun, but we also make a difference because we have paid some money out to some crimes and stuff. And we tell people, you know, this is what we do. And I had a lady at the cable company the other day ask me for a card because she saw a friend of mine with a Crime Stoppers t-shirt on. And she said she knew something about the kid that got shot in College Station. I said, call this number. Call it. That's all we can tell them to do is call it. Nobody will know who they are. Completely nobody knows anything about them. And they get a number, and you have to keep up with it. And that's the only way you get your money back, from calling in a tip.
We used to, KBTX advertised pretty heavily for y'all. Has that stopped?
Well, it has. They want money, which is understandable, but they want a lot of money. And, yeah, so there used to be this thing called a PSA, which is a public service announcement,
Yeah.
and they're supposed to be free. Free. That's the key word here, free.
Yes.
Well, KBTX has got such a full line, I guess, or I don't know, enough people pay the money that those public service announcements aren't free anymore.
But they are at Bryan Broadcasting, all their stations.
I know.
Yeah, they're still
I
very
know.
much a community partner that way.
I've got to get in touch with Ben. But anyway, I talked to a TV station this morning, Fox, and they're looking to put a program together for us so we can get free and then
Good.
pay. Yeah. I don't mind paying for some, but I want more free than paid,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
I was in TV for 16 years, so I know how much it costs. It's a lot cheaper than they tell you.
That's right.
So I know how to wheel and deal with commercial advertising, thank goodness. So
I do have one question regarding the P3 software. Have y'all reached out to the schools to help pay for their portion since it's benefiting the schools?
thank you for asking. What a good question we're fixing to. We've got an appointment with one of the schools. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's College Station. And my treasurer made that appointment for me. She's back there. And so we're going to go in and talk to them. We're not going to tell them, you know, look, you got to pay for this.
No.
Because that's not fair.
Request
But we're
it.
going to say, if you can help, we'll gladly help, you know, take your money. But what we have to explain to them, because they're not going to understand this, they're under our grandfather right now with me, with Crime Stoppers. And we pay about $3,000 per school, and then another $3,000 for the other thing, whatever it is. And if they want to get out and do it on their own, it's going to run them about $8,000 a year. They've gone up on us a little bit, but to start brand new, it's a lot of money. So it would benefit both the school districts to just stay with us and let us pay the majority of it. And then, you know, they don't have to pay the $8,000 plus a year. And that's just for that part. Then they have to pay the P3 part too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it would end up costing them over $10,000 probably a year.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Pam.
Y'all aren't near as scary as I thought you would be. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, we made it. Almost.
I do have a couple agencies that were not able to make it. I do want to go over the requests. It's going to be short and sweet since I
I'm
have
sorry,
no.
if they didn't make it, they don't get any money.
That isn't my decision, but I extended a hand for me to present for them, and
Yeah,
so
if you don't have a brochure, then we're out.
Oh, I have plenty of papers. So real quick, I do want to go over, of course, Chamber of Commerce came yesterday during Commissioner's Court to go over his request. BB Network, this is more of a program that really no one sees, but we do fund them $4,000 every single year. This is a agreement that is with multiple agencies. It is Brazos County, Texas A&M, the Health Center, College Station, Bryan Blinn, Bryan ISD, College Station ISD, Brazos Valley Council of Governments, Research Valley, which is not Research Valley Partnership anymore, it's Brazos. Oh, what are they called now? GBP, or whatever.
Greater Brazos.
That one.
Yeah.
And St. Joseph's Hospital. And this is using telecommunication infrastructure. It's a fund. It was a grant many, many years ago. And between all these organizations, they continue to fund it $4,000 by each organization. And so we continue to cover that portion of it. Do you have any questions about that?
So 4,000.
4,000 has been 4,000 since 2006.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Just making sure that our share is 4,000.
Our share is 4,000.
What was Chamber's request yesterday?
To stay at the amount of 15,000.
15,000.
15,000.
Okay.
Which is our membership or contract.
We don't say
covers-
membership is contract, yeah.
Covers the
They do the,
economic development deal.
yes. And the next one is going to be, we have what is called the synthetic tours with City College Station, Dartmouth, and Harvey Mitchell. We budget a certain amount, not knowing if they're going to invoice us regarding the work that has been completed over there. And so we always budget $230,000. If they send us an invoice, we have the money. If not, then it just goes back into fund balance. So you just want to make sure something's budgeted. Oh, it's not? Oh, go ahead.
On the synthetic tours agreement with College Station, we accrue it. And so it doesn't fall back into fund balance because they're not expending funds every single year for that project. So basically we're setting it aside and it's growing until they finish the project. And when they ask for a submission on a year that they do, we have the money already set aside.
Are they going to ask for 230,000 or are they going to ask for more?
Well, they did not use the 230 last year, so now we'll be.
Just carrying that over.
It just carries over.
So
and
we're
then
not
when the
spending it this year, just
right.
carrying it over.
And well, we're not spending it, but it'll be set aside as accrued and not be in our fund balance. And then once they've completed the project and submitted for any of those improvements they have put in that zone, whatever money we have left, if there's any left, we would put back into the general fund in the future years.
You said it does go to fund balance, Marcy?
No, it does not.
Not go to fund balance.
Because
Okay,
we
that's fine.
accrue it. So basically, we have a liability on our books, and it's taken out of our fund balance.
Just making sure. Thanks.
Sure. No, I know. Very technical accounting terms, but is everybody clear on that?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
That's why she does actuals and I do the budget. Okay. So the next one is going to be 10th Court of Appeals. This is help to salary supplement the appeal judges. And so we get the letter from the state saying, hey, this is how much you're going to pay. So I always budget about $3,000. It's been ranging between $2,700 and $3,000. And so I will fix that once I get the letter that comes in. And of course, the EMS contracts. You will get an EMS contract from City of Bryan and City of College Station closer to the end of this year. I've been budgeting $500,000 because it's based on runs, right? And so once they establish their funding per run, we pay them based on the actual runs. And so I just make sure I budget enough to cover for that year.
You said you're budgeting
$500,000 for each one. And it's been like that for several years besides back in 2023 because it's the unknowns. And that is it. So here's the thing. I would like to kind of go over the list, but I think we have a solution for that because it is getting to later this afternoon. I would like to have recommendations from the court on what you think needs to be put into the proposed budget. If I give y'all a deadline to submit your submissions, say by next Friday, would that work?
Yes.
That would help me prepare for August. If you have any questions, please let me know. Do y'all want me to email you the Excel sheet that way you can make notes, or would you like to?
Yes.
I could do that.
Yes.
You've got mine already.
I sure do, sir. Do you have any questions whatsoever?
No, can we go?
You are dismissed.
Thank you,
I need
ma'am.
someone to hit the gavel and say we're adjourned.